The California sun blazed overhead, turning the ocean into a field of shimmering silver. Luxury yachts drifted lazily beyond the shoreline. Elegant white umbrellas lined the private beach. Champagne glasses clinked. Laughter echoed across the sand. To everyone attending the event, it looked like paradise. To me, it felt like a courtroom. Every glance felt like judgment. Every smile felt fake, and every second reminded me why I hated gatherings like this. I stood alone near the edge of the beach, far from the conversations, far from the laughter, far from my family. The long sleeves of my white shirt clung uncomfortably to my skin despite the heat. Most people assumed I was hiding from the sun. The truth was far more complicated. I was hiding my scars. 5 years earlier, those scars had changed everything. They had ended one life and forced me to begin another. But nobody here knew that. Or perhaps a more painful truth existed. Maybe they simply didn't care. A burst of laughter drew my attention. Vanessa, my younger sister. She moved effortlessly through the crowd, surrounded by attention as always, beautiful, confident, perfect. At least that's how everyone described her. No one ever talked about the cruelty hidden beneath the surface. No one except me, because I had lived with it my entire life. She spotted me standing alone and rolled her eyes. "There she is," she announced loudly to her friends. Several heads turned. I immediately regretted coming. My father had insisted. Family appearances mattered. Public image mattered. Everything mattered, except the truth. Vanessa approached with the confidence of someone who had never faced consequences for her actions. "Seriously?" she called. "It's 80 degrees, and you're dressed like it's winter." A few nearby guests laughed. I ignored her. That was mistake number 1. Vanessa hated being ignored. "Still pretending you're mysterious?" she asked. More laughter. I stared toward the ocean. The waves were easier to look at than people, especially family, especially my father. Colonel Harrison Reed, retired Marine, decorated officer, national hero. The man who taught me discipline, the man who taught me honor, the man who hadn't defended me once in 5 years. Not once. His eyes briefly met mine across the beach. Then he looked away. The familiar ache settled in my chest, because silence can hurt more than words. Vanessa wasn't finished. She stepped closer. "So tell us," she said. "What's the excuse this time?" I said nothing. Her smile widened. The crowd sensed entertainment. People always do. Cruelty disguised as humor attracts attention. "You know what I think?" Vanessa continued. "I think she likes being the victim." Several of her friends laughed. One of the young Navy officers looked uncomfortable. At least someone did. I took a slow breath. Stay calm. Stay quiet. That's how you survive. But Vanessa had never been interested in survival. Only dominance. She stepped directly in front of me. "So what are you hiding under there?" Her hand grabbed my sleeve. For a moment I thought she would stop. For a moment I believed she might finally recognize a boundary. I was wrong. Her fingers hooked into my collar and pulled. Hard. Gasps erupted around us. The fabric slipped from my shoulder. Time froze. Sunlight touched skin I had hidden for years. The scars became visible instantly. Burn marks stretched across my shoulder blade. Surgical scars crossed my ribs. Shrapnel wounds carved permanent reminders into my back. The entire beach fell silent. Not respectful silence. Uncomfortable silence. The kind of silence people create when they suddenly realize they've been laughing at something they don't understand. Vanessa stared. Then she laughed. "Oh my God." The words echoed like gunfire. I forgot how terrible it looks. Every eye turned toward me, some filled with pity, others with curiosity, a few with horror, but none hurt as much as the silence coming from my father. Not one word, not one defense, not one attempt to stop her. 5 years of rumors, 5 years of whispers, 5 years of allowing people to believe I had left the Navy in disgrace, and still he remained silent. I calmly adjusted my shirt. My hands didn't shake. Years earlier, they would have. Not anymore. Pain teaches control. Then something unexpected happened. A black SUV rolled onto the private beach access road. Immediately, the mood changed. Every officer present straightened. Conversation stopped. The vehicle came to a halt. The driver's door opened. A man stepped out wearing a pristine white Navy dress uniform. Even from a distance, I recognized him instantly. Admiral Thomas Hale, one of the most respected officers in the United States Navy. A man whose reputation extended across the entire military. The moment he saw me, he froze, completely. The Admiral stared as though he'd seen a ghost. Confusion spread through the crowd. Vanessa's smile disappeared. My father frowned. Then the Admiral began walking directly toward me. Not toward the officers, not towards the VIP guests. Toward me. Every eye followed him. Every conversation died. When he finally reached me, he stopped. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then something happened that nobody expected. The Admiral raised his hand and saluted, a full, formal military salute. The beach fell completely silent. I heard only the waves, only my heartbeat. Then the Admiral spoke 7 words. 7 words that changed everything. I've been looking for you for 5 years. And suddenly, the life my family thought they understood was about to shatter, because buried beneath my scars was a secret powerful men had spent years trying to erase, and the truth was finally coming for them. Like, comment, and subscribe. For part 2, don't forget to turn on notifications icon for updates on stories like this. Bye. See you in the next episode.